time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digits at GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Lovely listeners of Ghana Talks Radio. It's yet another beautiful brand new morning, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. I am your host, Esinam Fiagbedu, and I am bringing you the latest headlines making waves in the news, from business to politics, from sports to entertainment, and everything in between. You are welcome to the news headline review, and you know I can't do this alone. I have in the studios with me my beautiful panelists, Miss Regina Bless and Miss Debbie Adoso. Good morning, Miss Regina, Miss Debbie.
Good morning.
How are we doing?
I'm good.
The grace is sufficient.
Wow, amen. The grace is indeed sufficient. Miss Regina.
Yeah.
How was your night?
Cool.
Hope you slept well.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you had any fights with any driver this morning?
No.
You are paying the
I
same.
don't do that.
So you there, whether old or new, you pay anything.
Me fan no. It's just 3 cedis. And to me, could be my sister music added that 3 cedis.
So the man I know where you in.
I ubeja John Jar from Adi Mammy. With begum bag.
No, see what say.
Now who see me? And the baby I'll cover me if you ain't see me with her.
Hey, I know where we Nana.
Sure.
Something similar happened like that.
Yes.
And it's like the driver was actually sending the passengers like from here to.
They said I'm a mine.
And I also signed on mobile.
They got to Achimota and everyone got angry. We are not going to pay the old fare. And then he took them back
to where
to the central station.
I would say that sometimes we are our own problem, because I would say that in a way the passengers are not at loss. You, the driver, you are the one at loss. Of course,
that's like 1 gallon. No,
exactly.
You've wasted just like that
without taking
any money.
Excuse me, but it's stupidity. You see, anytime there is increase in fare, they are so quick to take their money.
They don't even wait to even have a meeting. Immediately they increase the prices.
Where you have to reduce the fare so we can also feel. I mean,
now when you enter into a trustee for paper and money. Now you take the paper, the prices that have been reduced. What I see is what I'll pay. You can't tell me otherwise. That is what the GPRC came out to say, that they've given them papers for the reduction of the prices. So what you see is what you pay.
Yeah, and I think those who are not part of the union, but they are also doing this structural business, they should be arrested.
Oh yeah,
they should be arrested.
I think they should be dealt with because they don't want to comply by it.
They have to be arrested.
All right. That was just, by the way, some rants and bants we normally have with drivers. When it's time to increase the prices, they're in a hurry. But now that the prices has been reduced, they don't want to comply by it, which is very unfair. All right, let's dive straight into our major headlines for today. Government reforming mining license to maximize national gains. Ama Kofi Bue. Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Ama Kofi, has reaffirmed the government's commitment to overhauling Ghana's mining policy framework, with a key emphasis on reforming the licensing regimen. The objective, he noted, is to enhance transparency, efficiency, and ensure the country derives long-term value from its mining resources. Addressing attendees at the opening ceremony of the 2025 West African Mining and Power Expo in Accra, the minister stressed that the reforms aim to align the sector with emerging global models that prioritize economic returns for the state, alongside environmentally responsible and sustainable mining practices. He added, I am very happy to announce that we are embarking on critical reforms in the lands and natural resource sector, especially in our mining sector. We are currently very far advanced in renewing and reforming our mining policy. He also said, we are also reforming our licensing policy and introducing what we call comparative mining to ensure we work with experienced large-scale mining companies to empower communities and show them the right way of mining responsibly and sustainably. This is what he said, and that is coming for the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources in the person of Emmanuel Amakofi. He outlines a major government initiative to reform the country's mining sector, especially focusing on the licensing regimen. So the reforming the licensing system, the government wants to make the process of acquiring mining license more transparent and efficient. This could include reducing bureaucracy, eliminating corruption, and using technology to track and manage licensing. That is the main objective of reforming the licensing system. So the goal is also to ensure that the right companies get access to the license and that mining activities deliver fair returns to the country. That is what he's saying. What do you make of it? What's your whole overview of it? Do you think the licensing system needs a proper reform?
Yeah, it really needs a reform because we have a lot of mining companies who disguisely, portray it out there as if they are formally licensed by the government. But these people are actually mining illegally. And we know that when it has to do with mine, just as cocoa generates large revenue for the country, mine, which has to do with coming up with gold, also generates a large revenue for the country. So people who disguisely mine, portraying as if they are formally licensed by the government, to reform it simply means that these people will be fished out. And it's either they pass through the due process or maybe their mining company will be shut down. And this is also to ensure responsible mining in communities. We have people who, and most of these people are illegal miners. They are not licensed. And even with the people that we know them to be, people who are formally licensed or are given the license, and then they go ahead by the government to mine. Some of these people, even along the way, mine illegally. So this is to ensure, responsible mining. Then I think, as I said, revenue, to generate revenue. So to ensure that the government receive a fair share of revenue for mining activities, like the gold board, for instance. Most of the golds we come up with are largely smuggled out of the country. And so with the gold board, you have to pass through due process. And instead of you smuggling it out of the country and then selling it to them, which at the end of the day, the country loses instead of gaining. So then you have to sell this gold to the gold board, and then they will pay you. They will give you, I know there is a wage they are supposed to give you. And then from there, they go to sell it at the market. And then with that, it comes back to the country. So I feel like with this, it's will go a long way of revenue generation. Then social impact, to protect the rights and interests of local communities, including indigenous people, and to ensure that the benefits from the mining we all know it. This is very, very common. You go to these mining communities and they are poor. I mean, they cannot even boast of common chips compound for health. I mean, for proper health care, they don't have it. They don't have basic amenities like school infrastructure for students. These communities are very, very poor, and you can't go there. Just say you are living on the land of God. It means you are rich. So how come? What is the council so
Bre.
You see.
So in the article, they said they are going to introduce cooperative mining, where cooperative mining refers to organized community-based mining operations that work in partnership with larger experienced mining companies. So the idea is to formalize small-scale or artisanal miners, give them training, equipment, and then support from big companies, promote environmentally sustainable practices, help communities benefit directly from local mining. In a way, is that not them encouraging illegal mining?
No, they are not encouraging illegal mining. They are rather going to, I mean, put an end to illegal mining, not completely, but maybe stop this illegal miners. And then, see, this is something that they want to, it's like you applying for a job. You don't have much skill about the job. So you are being meant to go through a 3 weeks or a 1 month training. And then I'm sure that there will be strict supervision. So this is not to encourage illegal mining, but I feel like it's a way to mitigate, I mean, this sort of illegal mining we are experiencing. And when it happens like that, and then these communities are mining legally, and as you read, they cooperate with, I mean, bigger
companies that already have the licenses to mine.
So these people have the license, which means that if you are being caught mining illegally, you face the law, because
they are bringing out these measures to curb illegal mining.
That's it. So with that, it will definitely help. And then whatsoever comes out of it goes back to the community, and that's a good one, because you cannot brag that if you cross Kawosun, the way our people brag, and then you go there and then they are dying in poverty. No. This one is abject poverty. So I feel like with this, it will help. And then the money comes back to the community. You build chips compound. You build, I mean, schools for them. Some even go ahead of, coming up with boreholes, digging boreholes for these people to access potable water. And they are not going to spoil the environment. You know, if you go to mining companies that mine legally, you won't see them as a how. It's like, let's say this is the firm, but they have a place, it's as a dining here, but to inside. And they are mining deep down. So these people are not going to cause harm to the environment, and at the end of the day, the residents in the community is going to benefit.
We are just hoping we see evidence of that. All right, Miss Regina, what's your take on the reforming of the licensing system?
Okay, so with the reforming of the mining licensing, I think it's a very great initiative the government, or should I say the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, has taken upon himself to make sure that it's being implemented. So first off, I think comprehensive review of small-scale mining licensing. So I don't know, but a committee has been set. Someone say this
government. Oh, they said lean government. Oh, they've reduced the ministers and then the ministries, but now committee.
I feel that with the committee they're setting up, it's not a long-lasting committee.
Okay, so
it's
once
just a temporary.
Once they meet their mission, then they squash it.
So the committee would assess the legality of licensing, environmental compliance, and financial obligation to restore order and sustainability in the sector. First off, no one or not everyone should have access to mining licensing, but it looks like these days that is what is happening. And even some top politicians even have mining license, but they are not mining legally. They are mining in the wrong way. So I think that with them wanting to reform the mining sector and also to assess the mining licenses, it would really go a long way. And also, you asked a question that if the cooperative mining would in a way encourage illegal mining. I feel that it wouldn't encourage illegal mining, but rather it will encourage the illegal miners to also, should I say, go in for the corporate mining.
Like they don't have any other choice but to cooperate with the big companies.
Exactly,
Okay.
yes. So to transition into corporate frameworks, the scheme is to aim formalize small-scale mining operations, providing technical, financial, and regulatory support while promoting environmental responsible practices. So not illegal mining. It would be end, but I feel that in a way it would encourage, because at the end of the day there would be sanctions for offenders.
Yeah.
So in either not to be found culpable, you just transition into the corporate mining. So aside everything we said, I think it's a great one, and if only they would should I say sustain it for long, it would help.
Yeah, so in summary, Ghana is revamping its mining laws to make licensing fairer and more efficient, increase revenue from its mineral wealth, empower local communities through cooperative mining, and ensure mining is done in a sustainable and responsible way. So this is a strategic move to ensure that Ghana's mineral resources truly benefit the country and its people in a long-term run. So that is coming from the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. All right, moving on to our next news headline. 24-hour economy is both a destination and a program. President John Dramani Mahama has clarified the vision behind his flagship 24-hour economy policy, describing it as both a long-term national goal and a comprehensive program aimed at transforming Ghana's productive sectors. Engaging some stakeholders on the implementation of the policy in Accra, he provided what he called a clear lens through which Ghanaians should understand the initiative. President Mahama said, "Let me begin by offering a clear lens to understand the 24-hour vision. It is both a destination and a program." He explained that, as a destination, the policy envisions a future where Ghana operates around the clock, maximizing productivity, infrastructure usage, and human capital through multiple shifts across day and night. This, he said, will not only raise capital efficiency, but also move the country closer to full employment and inclusive economic growth. He also added, as a destination, the 24-hour economy reflects a state where Ghana's productivity and capital utilization will become so high that we will operate in multiple shifts across day and night, maximizing the return on infrastructure, human resources, and innovation. President Mahama also emphasized that the idea caught the public's imagination during the 2024 election campaign and remains a central pillar of his economic transformation agenda. This is coming from President John Dramani Mahama. Wait, so before I break the story down, how do you understand the 24-hour economy, in your opinion?
Okay, so in my opinion, the 24-hour economy is an initiative that would boost our economy, our market sector, yes, as a whole. And also, it's not only boosting but also bringing revenue into the country, and should I say killing two birds with one stone.
With one stone.
It would help unemployment issues and also help us be stable as a country.
Miss Debbie.
Well, I also think that the 24-hour economy is to help improve our normal economy we used to know, and I think with what he's saying, they've made a lot of promises concerning the economy, and then they've fulfilled it. So one has to do with the stabilization of the cedi to the dollar, and we've seen it. So the overview of what I know about the 24-hour economy is that, and then I think, and also working 24 hours a day, as he said, and then they started with the foreign affairs ministry that has to do with our airport and staffs. They said they'll be running shifts here and then to ensure that, there is smooth running. And then time passports can take like a year, 2 years. But now, according to them, they say 3 weeks.
But you haven't gone through that.
Well,
process.
I haven't gone through that process, but that is what they are saying. That in a place of 3 weeks or in a place of 2 weeks, you will get your passport. And then I think to also create employment for the people. And so long as you are running 3 shifts or 4 shifts, they are going to employ a lot of people. So with the 24-hour economy, it's basically on that.
Okay. So as a destination, a long-term vision, Mahama envision a future where Ghana operates around the clock with businesses, services, and industry running both day and night through multiple work shifts. Maximize use of resources such as roads, factories, machines, and people. Instead of letting resources sit idle overnight, they would be productive 24/7. Is that not you in a way overusing the machine? Because it looks like you're not going to give the machine a breathing space.
Which machine are you talking about?
It could be any machine, assuming you are working in a rubber factory, and then the first people come for the shifts. The machine doesn't rest. Then immediately the other shift also come.
We have machines that have a long-lasting period.
Even your phone needs rest.
Your phone needs rest, I know, but I'm not sure it's not as if you are overworking the machines. If you're going to run a 24-hour economy, it means you're not going to use one machine for it. You're going to use
but still,
3 or 4
instead
of
of the machine being idle and should be cooling down, maybe.
That is why. So the machines we are using here, we use it literally every day.
Every day.
Every day. So you tell me the machine. Well, it's a machine. It has, even when you look at, if only they can find the papers for these machines, you will know that they've written. They have a very broad writings about the machine, its use, how long it's going to stay. And that is why we have the AC. So that it don't get overheated. And because when it gets overheated, it's going to spoil earlier than you think. And so when you go to any media station, there is always an AC there.
Okay,
to
so
cool down the
let's
machines.
just not limit it to the media station. Let's take it across to the big is that not using resources judiciously? Because I feel like if you are going to use them judiciously,
what are the benefits of what are the use of the machines? It's to be used.
It's to be used, but you have to use it judiciously.
So you have to use it judiciously, and then when goes bad, you buy a new one. After all, at the end of the day, you are making more ends.
Okay, that is what I wanted to hear from you. All right, Miss Regina. Yeah.
What I think about overusing the machines.
Not overusing the machine per se. Okay, so let me put it this way. Which industries do you think that they need to prioritize this 24-hour economy? Like, they should take advantage of it? Because even before he read in his manifesto, some industries were already running 24-hour. Which other industries do you see that they need to take advantage of this course?
All right, so I don't know any industry per se, but what I can say is they should focus more on industries that they see that has an impact on the country. Should I say an industry that supports the economy, that is the backbone of the country. And also not only that, but where should I say demand is high, productivity is also high, because there's no way people do not really purchase that goods or do not purchase that services, then you still be producing each and every day. It would be a waste of time. So maybe the cocoa sector, they can, and because should I say cocoa is something we really deal with each and every day, almost everything from our head to our toe, from our cosmetics, even from perfumes, from our toffees, sweets, and all that, even beverages and teas that we take, the cocoa is in it each and every time. So I think they can also implement it, the 24-hour economy. Yeah.
So would you say that they should legalize this? as in like make it like a law that you can actually operate 24-hour,
Oh,
so
yeah.
that when other governments also
Government
come into
comes.
power, they don't just squash it.
Yeah.
Miss Debbie,
Yeah, and I think the 24-hour basically should be the banks.
the banks.
Yes.
Don't you think the bank is too risky?
Risky, you say.
Do we have
But our
like
money
as
goes in
no,
there,
but
and
our
people go there
security no,
every day.
but our
So
security
then it means
agency
we have
is
to
that
tighten
tight.
our security.
But do you think Ghana is ready for that tax?
We have to.
Because even in broad daylight, they are
We have
robbing.
to.
And then how much more people are sleeping?
So if you're thinking about 24-hour economy and then running, even with other sectors, people still rob there. So if someone is to come to work as late as 12 p.m., working the whole night, there have to be tight security around. So in as much as you're not dealing with money, but people come in, you render services to them, and in exchange, they give you money.
Right.
So you still hold money. So there should be tight security everywhere, not only in the banking sector. Because if you're thinking about running a 24-hour economy and you're not thinking about tightening our security, then what is the use? Because at the end of the day, you're creating rooms for thieves. Oh, yes. You're creating rooms for thieves.
So aside the banking that you suggested, which other industry do you think they should take advantage of the 24-hour economy?
Then I think industry that has to do with manufacturing of goods, the industries we have in this country that has to do whether from the government or local manufacturers, like the manufacture maybe drinks, the manufacture we have industries that manufactures dress, shoes. This one it creates more employment. It employs a lot of the youth, because let's take a pure water factory for instance. They work maybe from morning to evening, and then they are closed. But then in a case where they are supposed to run a 24-hour economy, it means they have to get more hands, which means a lot of the youth do not sit at home idle. And so with this, we know that most of these factories, as 99% are private sectors. So the government should collaborate with the private sectors and ensure that they also have a feel of the 24-hour economy.
Great. All right. Moving on to our next news headline. This headline is very attractive. This news is very attractive, and I think that is what is trending. Wontumi granted 50 million Ghana cedis bill by EACO on charges of causing financial loss to the state. The Economic and Organized Crime Office has admitted the Asante Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Bernard Entry, aka Chema Wontumi, to bail in a sum of 50 million Ghana cedis with two sureties to be justified. His lawyer, Andy Apiakubi, who disclosed this to Graphics Online in Accra, said his client was interrogated by the investigative body on charges of causing financial loss to the state. The police inquiry billed by EACO is to allow Chema Wontumi to be temporarily released from police custody pending investigations. The bail came after hours of interrogation of the EACO head office in Accra last Tuesday. Chema Wontumi is said to have fallen ill after hours of interrogation. Mr. Apiakubi told the Daily Graphic that his client was working with EACO office to meet the bail conditions. The Criminal Investigations Department of the Ghana Police Service had earlier on Tuesday invited Chema Wontumi to assist with ongoing investigations linked to alleged illegal mining, also known as Galamsey activities. He has previously been cautioned over accusations of mining without a license, activities that are polluting water bodies and encroachment of forest reserves. However, after answering the CID's investigation, he was subsequently picked up by EACO officials and transported to their head office for further questioning, reportedly on related issues. What do you make of the whole Wontumi Buhara? You know, in a way, he was the one that made Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, cry on national television. seeing how his activities have destroyed lands. He was invited by the CID for some investigation, but on Tuesday he was also invited at the EOCO office for further investigation with relation to the illegal mining, issue he has been stamped with. What do you make of it? I know Chema to me is your best friend.
It's very funny.
Why is it funny?
It's funny because
it's serious. The man is in trouble.
It's funny because
and he fell ill.
He would definitely fall ill.
Why?
He would definitely feel sick.
Why?
He will.
Just answer a few questions and you're sick.
He will. He knows what he's doing. You see.
Oh, you think he knows what?
He knows what he's doing. They want to frustrate his life. See, when you have power, you think that men are me was me and that's how he speaks. Then wherever he's going, he's having a bag with gold, like gold. No,
he's a miner. Hello, he's a miner.
Oh, no, where you go? Sikanye. He sat on national television and told President Muhammad that he's going to make his life a hell.
He said that.
Yes, and I think the first time the previous administration came on board, I think they won with I don't really remember the margin, and it was like what Muhammad gets or no lower number than that. See, they were not expecting. Even Baumia said, "No, onim se Muhammad be the president that." So if you are doing something today, you feel like no one is watching you. You feel like you are the boss. You feel like you're on top. Like untieha. Nyawobeka your final. They would definitely come for you.
So looking at this whole situation, he happens to even be the chairman for the Ashanti regional chairman for the New Patriotic Party, and obviously he's a leader. What does it make of our government officials and the law as well?
As in
him being a government official and is involving in such illegal activities.
You being a government official doesn't mean that you cannot be arrested if you are doing if you are doing something in the wrong way.
But right now they are granting him bail.
Granting him bail doesn't mean that he cannot be arrested again. I wouldn't be surprised in 2 days' time he will still be arrested, because if you are granted bail, it means you are pending for trial or for further investigation. So you being granted bail for now, it means as something said as at that time was it's a mawako. They are still going to deep down, and then when they find out that no, you still have to come back and answer to certain question, you will still be arrested. It's a enye wekeke on yare kafra chama untimi kafra na
then I turn so now like Oyari immediately. They said I learned he was rushing.
Yeah, and I don't know whether it's just something or it's real, because I saw a picture where I had a dream passing.
Hey, Chema Unti.
A whole chairman just say he's the God on earth. The God on earth. Okaso bi ankasabio. Okaso bi ankasabio.
Yes, so be on the master.
Yes, so be on the master. Power pass power, man pass man.
Okay.
So it's just a lesson.
Okay.
Not only to Chema Wuntimi, even with the current government officials in power.
Good.
As long as you are giving power, doesn't mean that you should go beyond your boundaries. You know what to do. But these people know, and we all know what Chema Wuntimi has been doing in this country. In as much as you've been hearing speculations about him involved in illegal mining and that, now you intimi nka, even if you have the evidence, enko do bebia, because Oma buying a also. That is the perception. Oma buying a also. And it is alleged that he supports the party every year with an amount of money, alleged. Into with this kind of person, do you think even if Okasakana and Toye cry, you will still have people that will back him? And that is what Kennedy Japan is fighting against. You still have people that will back them.
But Kennedy Japan has also come out to say that he's ready to stand in for him being his sureties. I don't know if I got that right.
Well, say
he's ready to sign that.
Because maybe the next person in line is you.
He said he's ready. He's ready to sign that, to sign a surety.
If upon this they didn't arrest any of them,
Okay.
Then this current
Miss
administration, they are
Regina.
bogus.
Is Chema to me your friend as well?
Oh, one is my friend.
Oh. All right. What do you make of the whole Buhara surrounding Chema Wuntumi?
Okay, so the only thing I can say is after investigation and he's found guilty, he should be dealt with according to the law. As the saying goes, no one is above the law.
Right.
Regardless of who you are, whether you're president, whether you're a politician, you are even God's child, you need to still face the law. When he was, during his time, I got to learn, allegedly, that he was operating the mining without license.
Yeah.
And also he was encroaching on forest reserves, polluting water bodies and all that. And allegedly he was also involved in illegal mining. So with all these, if they have evidences against him, they should just present it. And also if there are any tangible or reasonable investigations that needs to be met, they should just go ahead and do it. Yes, so at the end of the day, if he's found guilty, he needs to serve his time. If he's not guilty too, he needs to be let go.
So far, from what we've seen on news stories and then what we heard, do you think that is evidence enough, or the evidence are eligible enough for him to be arrested?
For that, I can't tell. I'm not a lawyer, and I don't know what basis he was arrested or what basis he needs to be jailed. So for that, I can't tell.
Miss Debbie?
Well, I feel like they know what to do. Maybe the evidence they have is not enough for them, and so they will have to do more. I mean, to get evidence that are vivid enough. And then with these cases like this, you cannot just wake up a day and then arrest the person. You have to gather enough evidence. So I think they are still on the grounds doing their work. Whatever it is, we'll get to know.
We will get to know. But do you think he should be arrested?
Baby, I'm meeting. Baby, I'm meeting. Mean to me, but what I'm meeting one from when I am from almost him na mete. Sitting here, I don't have any evidence against him that Makwachin red-handed say he's involved into illegal mining. That is what they are saying. They are saying that they have evidence. So if it is true that they have evidence, and then Odifwa, he should be arrested.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you so much for joining us on the news headline review. Up next, we have The Beach Girl.
Good morning and welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that concern the state, void of politics, fear or favor. Now, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, charged members of Parliament to prioritize national interests over partisan politics. He said the institution must rise above pettiness and focus on delivery for the people. Parliament will not stand by whilst members are subjected to unlawful or politically motivated persecution, but neither will Parliament offer protection to those who seek to misuse its privileges to frustrate legitimate investigation, he emphasized. Mr. Bagmin said when he welcomed the members of Parliament back to the parliamentary business following an Easter break recess period. So this was from the Speaker of Parliament cautioning the members of Parliament to seek national interest above all, because in as much as you're a member of Parliament, you'll be voted in there, to legislate laws. You have to ensure that you have the people at heart. You are in for national interest and not to your own personal interest. And because you're a member of Parliament, you can actually do anything you want. No. And this is basically what I want us to understand, and what I want the members of Parliament to understand. You've been voted in Parliament, or you've been voted to Parliament by a group of people in your locality who believes that when they give the nod to you, you bring change. They are going to work in their interest. You are going to bring development to the locality. You are going to speak on their behalf. That is the main reason I believe they voted for you to go into parliament, not to get there and then do otherwise, or not to get there and then do what you feel like it's your interest. And I like it when the Speaker of Parliament said that if you get yourself involved in something that is not in connection with what you're supposed to do, then no one is going to defend you. And that is the right thing for him to say. Because as a member of parliament, you are there to, implement laws, enact laws. You are not there to be dragging tables. You are not there to fight. The people who voted for you did not vote for you to go to parliament and then be fighting, be dragging tables and then destroying properties. No. That is not what they voted for you to go there to do. They voted for you to go there and then be their spokesperson. You look around your locality and then you find out things that are lacking in your locality. You get there, you put it on board. And then the basic help they can give you, they give to you. And then you bring back to impact your community positively. Because when you don't do that, then it means they voted for someone who go there because of your own parochial interest. And that is not it. For the past previous years, we've seen members of parliament, they voted for, they go there, and then they do otherwise. They do things that is not in relation to what they are there to do. Which is very, very, very bad. And then we see some members of parliament, talking as if the vote you voted for him is like he or she didn't send you to vote for her. Or he or she didn't send you to vote for him. And so long as I've gained power, I will do what I want to do. Whether you like it or not, what I say is final. And then when you are such a member of parliament, then trust me, the upcoming elections, they are going to vote you out. Because for the past 4 years, they've noticed you are there because of your own personal interest. And you are not there for them. And in as much as you've been voted for by a particular community, you are representing your community, not only your community, but you are representing the country. You are representing, the whole nation. You're also representing the citizen. Because when you get there, you don't only bargain for your people, but you bargain for the citizens of the country. Example, when it has to do with employment. We know unemployment in this country is a whole lot. And then we see people say they've come up with, they created 2.3 million jobs. We've heard a lot of stories like that. And then we still have that 2.3 million people walking about mercilessly because they have nothing to do. Not as if they are not capable to do the work, but because there is no opportunity, there is just no job to get them employed. So when you are there, you're not only there for your community, but then you are there to enact laws. You are there to speak in favor of all the citizens. But when you get there, and then you talk as if you actually pushed yourself into parliament, then when the right time comes, they are also going to boot you out. And don't forget that whatever goes on there is on national television. Everyone is watching. Even those we claim to be illiterate understand what you are doing. Not only from your words, but your actions. People get the nod, and then when they get it, they speak as if they got there themselves. They speak as if they are on their own. And they speak as if they are going to remain there till, Jesus Christ appears. And you see, the truth is very bitter. But it is good, and it will be in your favor to swallow it and then work towards that, rather than to keep mute and then do what you feel like is good. Because mind you, The people who voted for you are looking up to you to do something for them. But then when you don't do it, and then you feel like you're on your own, then when the time comes, we don't want to hear any complaint. Because that is when you see members of parliament from this station to this station, from a radio station to another radio station, speaking blah blah blah, saying a whole lot of things, but you refuse to do the needful. National interest should be your number one most priority. It should be your topmost priority. Because you should realize that the position that has been given to you, someone is eyeing that position. And the person is working on grounds to ensure that the next time he boots you out. So if you are there and then you don't consider the interests of the people, and then you feel like you want to do what pleases you, then when the time comes, what pleases you will displease you. So please, to our members of parliament, we respect you. I won't sit here and downgrade your work, because I know it's not that easy. We respect you, but then at least when you get there, do the will of the people. Do as the people wish. Even if you don't have the means to support them, let them feel that at least you are working things out. Don't let them feel as if they've wasted their vote. And then we should do away with politics a bit. We know that you are representing a particular political party, but the people voted for you. Sometimes the politics is becoming too much that we tend to forget the people who get us there. And then we are focusing on things that are not really necessary. So please, to members of parliament, either you consider making the interest of the people your topmost priority, or you wait till the final day when you are being booted out of power. And it's quite unfortunate that most of them, when they are being booted out of power, it's now that, they begin to reason well. It's at that point that they begin to think very well. Oh, I'm not supposed to do this. I'm supposed to do that. So please, don't let the saying that when you get power, it turns to a different thing. It's just like the way they say bad manners or bad groups of people corrupt good manners. It's just the same way as you gaining power and then corrupting your whole attitude of behavior. So please, my matu meaning did too much. If not, we are going to cry. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Girl.
Thank you so much, Miss Debbie, for that, girl. You said what? Yeah. Bad manners corrupt good behavior. We'll come back to that later. Miss Regina, what do you have for us?
Right. Today in history, 1935, copper belt strike in northern Rhodesia, now Zambia. African mine workers in the Copper Belt province initiated a significant strike, protesting increased taxes imposed by the British colonial administration. The strike spanned major copper mines in Mufulira, in Ghana, and Rhine Antelope. Tragically, 6 protesters were killed by police near Rhine Antelope. This event is regarded as the first organized industrial action in northern Rhodesia and marked a pivotal moment in the rise of African nationalism in the region. Today in history, 1961, anti-republic strike in South Africa. A planned 3-day strike commenced in South Africa to protest the country's transition to a republic, which was perceived as a move to further entrench apartheid. 1976. Eskom orders nuclear power stations in South Africa. Eskom, South Africa's state-owned electricity utility, announced plans to order 2 nuclear power stations from France. This marked a pivotal moment in South Africa's energy sector, leading to the development of the Koeberg nuclear power station, which remains the country's only nuclear power plant. On this day 2024, South Africa held national and provincial elections that were considered the most competitive since the end of apartheid. The ruling African National Congress faced significant challenges, with polls indicating it might lose its parliamentary majority for the first time since 1994. Key issues influencing the electorate included high unemployment, frequent power outages, and widespread corruption. On this day also is International Day of United Nations Peacekeepers. Recognized globally, this day honors the service and sacrifice of UN peacekeepers. This day is also observed as World Digestive Health Day. Observed annually, it is a global initiative spearheaded by the World Gastroenterology Organization to raise awareness about digestive health. The day aims to educate the public about the prevention, diagnosis, and management of digestive disorders and diseases. The 2025 theme, Your Digestive Health, Nourish to Flourish, emphasizing the importance of nourishing the gut and how it contributes to overall well-being. This day is also Democracy Day. 1999, when Nigeria transitioned from military to civilian rule, initiating the Fourth Republic. This day is celebrated as Democracy Day, commemorating the restoration of democratic governance. Moving to some few did you know? Did you know that termites build the tallest non-human made structures in nature? Termite moulds are indeed quite large and are among the tallest natural structures built by non-human organisms. Did you also know that roasted insects like termites and moban worms are rich in protein? Roasted termites and moban worms are highly nutritious and valued as delicacies in many African countries, particularly in South Africa, Nigeria, and Ghana, and also China. These insects are a rich source of protein, iron, calcium, zinc, and other essential nutrients, making them a significant part of local diets and cultural practices. Did you also know that jollof rice, a beloved West African dish, sparks fierce rivalries over whose version is the best? Jollof rice, a popular West African rice dish, is the subject of a lively, often humorous rivalry between countries, particularly Nigeria and Ghana, over whose version is superior. This debate, sometimes called the Jollof War, is fueled by cultural pride and a desire to claim culinary dominance. The rivalry extends beyond just taste encompassing the dish's cultural significance and the economic impact of rice production and food security in the country. And that's all for today on Today in History and Did You Know, live on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina, for that fascinating fact. Oh, but I didn't. They said termites build the longest. And then?
Sorry, termites.
Termites. They build the highest structure.
Yeah, non-human structure.
Non-human structure. So apart from human beings, is termites that build the
the clay thing.
You know, when I was growing up as a kid, they lied to me that it was bees. It was bees that build those houses, those clay houses.
No.
So if you don't know, you go and touch it. They'll come after you. So when I go to the village and then I see them, I don't even want to go close to them. I think our parents used to tell us that so we don't go close to them. But termites, are they harmful to the human body?
It's not harmful.
I mean, they are just like ants. No, give you a
now,
small.
even if ordinary ants bit you, see how it is. Not termites.
Oh, you can do a day.
Share. You know it's poisonous. But you know it's poisonous because there are some ants which bite you, and for the whole 24 hours you still feel it. Oh, Hannah,
the black one.
Yes,
the one
I think
that
it's
flies.
Poisonous.
Oh, jeez.
Because there's a I wouldn't say poisonous to the extent that it would bite you too. But sometimes there are some punishments where some people are being tied around exactly. And
but how did they gather the clay to build such a structure?
That is God's intelligence. Cause I saw when you said bars, and I saw a video you did yesterday. They posted on the GhanaTalks video page, and someone was like, "I thought it's really forcing. Afenyo, I hope you're marking." When I was like, "This is bars, original bars."
Oh, that's nice. I think it's really forcing. I hope
Afenyo is marking.
Bars on bars. We just created a bar. All right, this is where we draw the curtains for the first segment of the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Right after this, we'll be going for the news, and after the news, we'll be coming up with the second segment. Please stick and stay with us.
Hello Ghana, hello worldwide, I'm with level band. Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry bro. Our GhanaTalks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, we're gonna talk about our culture, our history. My 20 things about Kwasem. Now on the Friday, you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say no artists go join me in the studio. We're gonna discuss about music and business. Konya, or you singer, and now you rapper, you think say you get bars. You go fi spit fire. Now listen, make you join me with studios. Our GhanaTalks Radio and you say then our day. Me say download the GhanaTalks Radio app no our Play Store and the App Store. Na tune in and say this what you see baba live on Facebook, ko Instagram, any GhanaTalks Radio page and so now listen. I be your fire. 1 year, Konya, Wading, Jajan.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com ghanatalksradio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
This is Ghana Talks Radio, the best station rocking the nation. This is Ghana Talks Radio, the best station rocking the nation. Ghana Talks Radio, #1. We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Good morning and welcome to the morning news broadcast on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up, parliamentary majority urges Chief Justice to follow due process. Martin Pebo questions Tokonu's judgment over former Attorney General's appointment. Kennedy Japan sounds alarm on new patriotic parties' internal conflict. Keita residents urge President Mahama to deliver on sea defense. These and many more coming up shortly in business, sports, and showbiz. The majority in Parliament is urging Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu to respect the constitutional process regarding her potential removal. The majority emphasized the benefit of following established procedures for removing a Chief Justice. They underscores Parliament's role in ensuring checks and balances within the judiciary.
I pay attention to the process. So far, I have not heard anybody specifically say that this part of the process is not provided for in the Constitution. I have not seen anyone. I have listened to all the discussions. Not one single, indication that this step in the process. People are throwing innuendos. People are speculating. Oh, why is it that these lawyers who are known to be lawyers who have ever represented XYZ are the ones who are also representing the people that somebody decides to choose as lawyers? It's not my business. Are you getting the situation? My business is whether or not the process is respected. Are you getting the situation? Now, somebody says, I want the hearing to be held in public. I want a transparent process. Did the Constitution say a transparent process? Did the Constitution say a process in camera? If the Constitution said a process in camera, when you are being vetted in this Parliament and you are being appointed as the Chief Justice, why didn't you say that I am accepting the job subject to me not accepting the procedure for removing me? If you had told us at that time, would we have appointed you as Chief Justice? It comes as a package. The Constitution creates the office of Chief Justice, and the same Constitution creates the procedure by which the Chief Justice should be removed. If you accept the office, you must accept the procedure by which you are going to be removed. It's a package. You cannot accept to enjoy the perks of the office of Chief Justice, and then the procedure by which you will be removed, you say that you not accept that one. Where were you when you were being appointed Chief Justice? So sometimes I don't even understand where people are coming from. So let's be clear when we are communicating to the public. The president has not engaged in one single wrongdoing in this whole process. The petitions were not sent. Some of the petitions didn't even go now. Some of the petitions were sent by the petitioners even when the previous president was there. And we are aware.
Moving on, private legal practitioner Martin Pebo has criticized the Chief Justice for appointing a former Attorney General as her legal counsel. He accuses Godfred Yeboah-Adame of misconduct and questions the appropriateness of his appointment. The controversy highlights concerns about the judiciary's integrity and the potential impact of such appointment.
My only beef with her is her retaining Godfred Dame to do that case when Godfred Dame is being caught on the tape undermining the whole judicial system, suborning Japa, coaching Japa to go and lie to the court, coaching Japa to go and, get a fake medical excuse duty, etc. You don't reward such bad behavior. Elsewhere, Godfrey Dammy's license would have been revoked a long time ago. You see what America did to Rudy Giuliani. You see what they did to Rudy Giuliani. Hey, Charlie, those days when Giuliani was mayor of New York, hey, Charlie, Giuliani was the man. You see, when he breached the rules, they didn't say this was a great mayor of New York. So they revoked his license. In a serious country, Dammy wouldn't have had a chance to practice law by this time. So talk on going to retain Dammy there. It's not on.
Well, and that was private legal practitioner Martin Pebu. Moving on, former presidential aspirant of the New Patriotic Party, Kennedy Ohini Ejapon, has expressed concern over an internal division in the New Patriotic Party. He highlights the significance of unity and learning from the National Democratic Congress to secure victory in the upcoming 2028 election. The former Member of Parliament made these remarks at the Economic and Organized Crime Office Yoko forecourt in Accra. He believes the party will strive with unity.
Minimum Niameka is a minimum Intia, India, NDC, the data. Minimum Abia Maker, Maya disappointed here, MPP for Niankasa. And then I read 2 videos, Alex Tetting and the former chairman. You know, say Assembly Sana party and Tia one. Na fei na your personal problems are your war. A day better bunting a divided party na am why because send this be winning a unity. Okay, your parliament. Emre bia honorable to force in no court. NDC for no bobo red. Now my boycott to parliament. Homo court ni wie and san mapa. I don't know what has become of us. So we MPP ni power be a obi pentino obi ehu basema ni jubilate emwe sema corner anas see a man 18 million next so empire no kra na MPP for mom money thumbs up. Meanwhile I defended MPP what you say and they won't me asema ba o hwe party for Alex Tete me bu afunu ankasa ko odi machi obi afi say ne oye no meka ho enye enioma bia ebe boa party mumma ekro yembra party solidarity enyina so aye boni so can you believe say obi bisam say adentina memeye anti-corruption crusader na honorable Amiya Konfi me de medan akoma bail entre say we guilty what do you say until so be guilty no we entitled to bail or be kofi any akasem. The mesrem the way a MPP for no internal politics no ye take party no to ya when ya better opposition say and changes as man we na ya makro ya ma ya nsua senia na NDC for ye e dey na chese auto forcing odi bem ana odi fo but so odi bim o so odi fo they rally behind him what you say the mesrem me anu party for o me anya.
You heard from the former presidential aspirant of the New Patriotic Party, Kennedy Ohini Ejapon, now resident of Salakope and Agavaji in the Volta region, and urging President John Dramani Mahama to fulfill his promise of constructing a sea defense wall from devastating tidal waves. The waves have been ravaging homes, displacing families, and disrupting economic activities, with over 1,000 residents affected and 135 homes destroyed in recent months.
Truly, this road is no good. So you come, this in the sun, the water bring the sun for the road top. So that let we remain for here. Since morning, we do here. We now go for the bulldozer can't throw me. So all these things is I supposed to pay because it don't impact before I go call. You see, so you beg for government. Our assembly people make you can't do the road for us, make you help us. Because if you do this road, all the drivers they pass.
I see. Any block, we put one block on any of the other cage. But Chapo, never even a conta, and I will to attack at I feel who want to live out. no one in my man, your challenge, any of us, some told you, I'm ready. But Shabba Kukura, Mount Obama, then you're president of Paronto. They were Jaco, Nana come out of my job, but I tell you, yes, I go. Daniel Kukuna, Yenya, radio station to me. That very president, but not from your Kukura, cover the net that covered that point to I'm going to put you more than a go. I don't know, she just put you more than a go. My about you want my talk, I can't have I will get up a bomb. What about the brother? I know when you call. Now, my own for the
And that was the grievances of some affected residents in Salakofe. In business, President John Dramani Mahama has announced plans to turn the Volta Lake and its basin into a key industrial hub under the government 24-hour economy policy. According to him, while the Volta Lake has long played a critical role in powering Ghana through hydroelectricity, its broader economic value remains largely untapped. Speaking at a multi-sectoral stakeholder meeting at the Jubilee House on Wednesday, May 28th, President Mahama positioned the Volta Economic Corridor as the anchor of a transformative 24-hour economy program. The time has come to move beyond hydropower and position the Volta system as the backbone of a new industrial Ghana, he said. For decades, the lake has powered our grid, thanks to the foresight of Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and the dedication of the Volta River Authority. But beyond electricity, it has been underutilized, he said. Under the 24-hour economy program, the government plans to reposition the Volta Basin as a national production zone and logistics artery. President Mahama explained that the Volta Lake Economic Corridor will see the cultivation of over 2 million hectares of arable lakeside land, revitalization of the lake's fisheries potential for both local and export markets, and to establishment of industrial parks along the corridor to process agricultural goods and manufacture key industrial products. To make this vision a reality, the government will activate the Volta Lake as a fully functional transport highway, initially linking northern food production zone with southern markets and export terminals, dramatically reducing logistics costs. In the medium term, this will rebalance industrial geography, encouraging factories to locate beyond the congested coastal areas. To achieve this will require investment in new floating transport assets, the construction of lake ports, and the creation of long-term public-private concession framework in partnership with the Volta River Authority, he said. President Mahama also noted that the 24-hour economy program is set in July, as the government will release the draft program document on Tuesday for publication for public consultation, with a formal launch set for 1st July 2025, Ghana's Republic Day. I will invite all of you, many of whom have helped shape this vision, to contribute to its finalization, Mahama urged investors, adding that the government will establish the 24-hour Economy Secretariat as an independent authority, reporting directly to the presidency to ensure effective delivery. In sports, Ghana Olympic Committee President Richard Akpokavi has urged the Black Rockets, Ghana's national youth boxing team, to avoid complacency and remain dedicated following their stellar performance at the African Youth Amateur Boxing Championship in Conakry, Guinea. At a brief medal ceremony held at Olympic House on Wednesday, May 28th, the Black Rockets comprising Desmond Papo, middleweight 75 kg, George Ninote, bantamweight, and Matthias Ashite, flyweight, presented their gold medals to President Akpokavi. The trials' victories in their respective weight categories earned praise from the National Sports Authority leadership. The event was attended by Ghana Boxing Federation President Bernard Cote, First Vice President Alhaji Dauda Futsini, and other GBF officials, including Second Vice President Solomon Otulate, Treasurer Mustafa Nati, and Communication Officer Charles Jojo Efsen. The Ghana Olympic Committee representatives included Secretary General Kasim Mohammed Muniru, Treasurer Evans Yebua, Assistant Treasurer Nilante Bandaman, and board members Kamal Sule and George Lamte. During the medal presentation, the president emphasized the significance of humility and perseverance. Don't think you have arrived. Prove this success is not flagged through hard work. He encouraged the young boxers to stay focused on the journey towards greater achievement, particularly the upcoming Youth Olympic qualifiers in Angola this December. To showbiz, Ghanaian R&B and Afro-fusion singer Jacqueline Achampo, usually known as Jackie, has opened up on her relationship status. In an interview, the rent-free hitmaker said, "At the moment, I am single," while responding to a question about her relationship status. Jackie announced her upcoming album, After Midnight, which will be released soon. For fans curious know about her love life, Jackie urged them to